What is up, everybody? I got a guy that's messing up the carbon fiber industry with me today. Why don't you let him know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Bernardo. Also goes Jalisco from Jalisco's Carbon Fiber on Instagram. I basically sell carbon fiber for most aftermarket brands, mostly Infinity, but as I've grown and the business gotten bigger, I was able to financially move into other brands, but that's basically it.
And is that the only thing you do?
No, I'm a full-time physical therapist assistant. That's what I was doing before carbon fiber. But, with COVID, like we were talking, you got to expand. You got to make sure you're secure. So I went into this full-time. So both of my full-time jobs.
Yeah. So you kind of pivoted your life, right, as soon as COVID hit. Did you start it during COVID?
No, I started this beforehand. I try to keep it short, but with changing like the carbon fiber game, I was part of the Q50 groups, all the Facebook groups for cars, and I always noticed that there was like a monopoly in carbon fiber products. It was almost like a mystery. No one knew where these came from. We all knew it was imported, but we don't know where it came from, who had what, and it was expensive, man, like crazy expensive. Like I couldn't afford it.
Definitely. So I have a 370, right? And obviously carbon fiber was, man, if you got carbon fiber, you're the top dog.
Yeah.
Right? But, only the top dog because you needed top dollar to get it, right? Tell me why you named it carbon fiber, or Jalisco? Is it carbon fiber Jalisco?
Carbon fiber. On Facebook, I made a lot of enemies from selling the carbon fiber stuff for very cheap because I wanted to help out the community and everything. Yeah. So I did everything at cost, but we all did it as a group. So, I wasn't making money, but we were all getting the products that we all wanted at the same time. So I started getting threats off of that. So I'm like, man, I don't want to use my name because I work in medical. I don't want people messing up my medical job. So I'm from Jalisco, Mexico originally. I was born there. So I'm like, let me just put Jalisco as my Facebook name. And so that little group orders I was doing really blew up. And so everyone knew my name was Bernardo, but everyone just kept calling me Jalisco. Yeah. So when I pivoted to Instagram, I'm like, man, I need something catchy. I can't just say Carbon Fiber Chicago or something lame like that. So I just put Jalisco's Carbon Fiber. And then along with like the Mexican heritage and the skull logo that came out with the sombrero and everything and the bandana.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That like really blew up. Everyone loved the logo. Everyone's always asking for decals. And I don't know, I guess people like Jalisco's name, even though they don't know how to say it sometimes. They like it, so.
Yeah. Did you design it?
No, I had a friend that has a G37, and he also does like electronic stuff too. And during COVID, he tried to expand and everything. So I work with him to kind of come up with I already had an image of what I want, but he designed it. He made out a logo and everything, but it came out really nice.
Yeah. What's your main way to advertise this business?
I very dumbly, I'm not good with electronics. I'm not good with a website. I don't know how to make any of that. That's why my website's not up and running right now. So everything's straight Instagram. Honestly, everything's just straight Instagram. It used to be Facebook. I don't know if people are gravitating more towards Instagram, but Facebook was not really popping for me, so I just started Instagram, and man, that blew up. That and word of mouth, that just spreads.
Yeah, especially within the car community. As soon as you got something that everybody wants for a reasonable price, right?
Yeah.
It's bound to sell, right?
Yeah.
Especially, I seen some of the stuff you do. It's top quality, top notch stuff, right? Off of Instagram, like, do you do the payment ads or anything, or is it just organic?
No, I mess with it sometimes, the payment ads every now and then, especially with a new product and I really want to get the word out, I'll put it out. It'll have its benefits for quick sales, but I don't see any long-term benefit because, with Instagram, if you hit the insights button, it'll show you your shares, how many people sent it to this and that, which is pretty cool. And sometimes I notice some even post that I won't put any hashtags. It'll be any hashtags. I'll put a lazy post. It'll get shared like crazy, like wildfire. And then I'll put a paid ad, and it doesn't even get as much as the other. And I'll put like $50-$60 into it. And it's here or there. It'll give me quick sales. Like someone will message me, hey, I saw your ad, and I just want to buy this, and it'll give me a quick, but nothing long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first business that you start like on your own?
Yeah, I came from a family that was 9-to-5 workers, and we don't know any about this. Yeah. I don't know anything about this, but so I'm learning as I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a one-man show right now, or you got people on your team?
Yeah, it's basically a one-man show. I got family that helps me. My wife out definitely supports me. but it's basically me 99% of the time. They've grown into it where they know what my schedule is like, so they'll work around and they'll help me package things or help me pick up certain packages and stuff like that. But it's basically me here from Chicago shipping everything out, answering messages, running the page. I have a buddy named Junior Lights on Instagram that helps me with Florida sales and things like that and bring new products in.
Okay.
But basically it's all me.
Yeah. You got anybody else? Like you said, you have a guy in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. You got anything out like on the West Coast?
No, I tried working on the West Coast. It's so different. It's so hard. You know, with COVID, I put it like an application out there for people to see if they can join the Jalisco's brand. But with COVID hit, it's very hard to just set that up across coast, you know. And when I'm starting to import these products in, it's like 30, 40, 50,000. So most people don't want to invest that in products. That's not their own business.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. No, it's difficult to find the right person, right?
Yeah.
Just because you have a vision, right, of where you want basically your baby, right, and how you want it to grow up versus, you know, depending if you get someone in that's new, you know, are they going to want to put that same, you know, elbow grease into it, right? Now, if you were looking for someone, what type of person would you know, be looking for?
Yeah, at this point, I did have an East Coast person, and it did not work out. So I kind of, it left a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm not even looking for anyone. Because I'm not looking for anyone, inside it just motivates me more to just do more by myself. I'm like, if I'm doing this much by myself, I'm getting all these bigger brands, bigger businesses that have a full advertisement team, have probably a bunch of sponsors and stuff like that. If they're getting worried about what I'm selling, I'm doing this by myself.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and this is me working a full-time 50-hour job a week. So if I'm doing this, you know, it's not part-time, but if I'm doing it as on the side, it's still full-time, and I'm doing all this, I'm messing everyone's business up, I know I can do more by myself, you know.
Yeah. Have you stepped back and actually maybe thought about just going all carbon fiber?
Yeah. So like we were talking, like the one guy you interviewed that wasn't scared to go into it. I'm kind of the opposite. Unfortunately, like I'm really introverted. I'm really cautious with anything I did. Even back in the years when I was actually doing boxing back in the years, and I thought I was going to do that full time. Yeah. Even when I fought, I was super cautious, everything. And I try not to make too many errors. And this is one of those things that I'm like on a scale of I don't know what to do. This year, I did 3 times my salary at my medical job just selling carbon. Yeah. So I know I could do it, but I'm just scared, man. You never know. You know, with the medical job, you get a consistent paycheck. You know, it covers bills, and I can expect that every week. And then when my wife are trying to start a family too. You know, so if I have a baby and say the carbon fiber stuff doesn't go well, you know. I wouldn't know where to go to, you know?
So I have, I think I was listening to the Real Business podcast. Shout out to Kale, and I forgot the other one right now. But they interviewed a guy early in their podcast, right? And this guy kind of quit his full-time job, and his girl was still going through school. And he's in the mortgage industry, right? So he was closing deals left and right, but it just wasn't consistent, kind of like you said, right? And when he cut ties, it's like you burned all your bridges, you know? So now you got to focus in, you know, he was delivering pizzas at night, you know, to get the bills paid, to have extra money on how he saw like, hey, you know, $5 tip. This is actually, you know, $5 towards advertisement, right? And it's the same thing. It's like with my girlfriend. I told her she was working as a teller. She's a realtor now. I'm like, look, you got to cut all your ties because you know you ain't going back. So you're gonna put that much more effort, you know, into going full time with all this versus, you know, I don't know, you know. I might do it, you know, but then you always feel comfortable because you're like, oh, but I still got this job, so I'm okay, right? And sometimes it's worth that jump, right? And sometimes for some people, I mean, you see some people open businesses, you know, every 2-3 years. right? Is there something maybe in the industry, like if someone were to place an order for, 100 of one of your parts, that would make you jump full time?
That's a good question. It's more my own hesitancy.
Yeah.
My medical job, for any medical workers that are listening and watching, I mean, we've definitely got treated really bad. During COVID and everything, we weren't taken care of, or at least physical therapy, we weren't taken care of. We don't have a pension. We don't have hazard pay. So that we were just getting paid regularly. And we were in COVID units, working with people. So our life was on the line, So I think that the biggest push that's going to push me to go this full time is if another straw breaks in the medical industry. I injured myself this year. Man, it was so stressed this year. That's basically why I couldn't focus 100% on my carbon business, because there was so much demand in the physical therapy world where we were getting asked to do twice of what we normally do for the same pay or less pay. So I think if something else changes there, or it's one more thing that just tips me over the edge, I'm going to do this full time.
Yeah. No, that's obviously thanks for everything you did, right? And all the nurses too, all the, frontline workers. Now during COVID, did your full-time job get affected, like with hourly time, like, or did it increase since you're in the medical industry, but it's physical therapy, so it's like, were people actually coming to get their therapy done?
Yeah.
How did you see that play out?
Yes and no. We're physical therapists, so we weren't as glamorized as nurses as they should have been, because they were the ones on the front lines. Mm-hmm. We were, behind them. Gracias a Dios, I wasn't furloughed. I still had my job and everything. But I went down to like sometimes almost 20 to 25 hours a week, that's nothing. And no one wanted to come into a rehab facility. No one wanted to go into a nursing facility because they were scared of getting COVID. So, I mean, our company made us use all of our PTO. So, like, all my PTO, my hundreds of hours that I saved up for vacation stuff, it was depleted. So, we were hurting for a couple of weeks. And unfortunately, we had a good team of therapists at our facility, good morale and everything. Like, 85% of them were furloughed. And it was just me as a physical therapist that was there full time from the original crew and a couple other people. So, even though we didn't have as many people, all the responsibilities that we had of a full team of 3 other therapists were only on me.
Got placed all on you.
Yeah, all on me. So it was okay. I'm like, yeah, I got my hours, but I was drained. I was on E for so long. And then once we recouped, everything came back, vaccines and whatnot, and everyone was more willing to get therapy. Now we don't have a full-time therapist. So now we're back to a full schedule, and I'm still doing like double the work and everything.
Yeah. We see that a lot in the corporate world, right? Where they might have a group of 5 accountants. They got rid of 2, so that those 2 accountants' work gets placed on the other people, and the other people are obviously busting their ass, right? Because they want to keep their job, obviously, right?
Right.
And we end up seeing that after everything's cleared, after the dust has settled and everything. The companies, they're like, oh, well, they were able to do it, so let's just keep going with it, right?
Yeah.
Just to save a couple bucks, right? And I think the entrepreneurs just love the freedom that you get after, you have your own business and you're able to just cancel 2 days and, go with your family to, downtown Chicago or go on a vacation, right? So you said you're mainly in like Infinity products. Mm-hmm. Obviously Nissan's kind of similar to Infinity in a way. Right. Any other markets that you've gotten into? Do you mainly do Ford, the Mustang guys, or?
Yeah, so Infinity was big. I really don't do older Nissans because there's so many big brands that already do the carbon fiber for them, and they have such a good stronghold that if I sell something, for me, it's not worth it to sell 3 products at $100 each. It's just not worth my time and how much I need to store in my home and, etc. That's why I don't do older Nissans, because there's already stronghold in that. So I'm doing Infinitis because I got a pretty hold on them. And then just recently, my new shipment, I got a bunch of Dodge stuff. So that's what I'm really excited for. Is Dodge is a huge market.
Oh yeah,
and they're so
the Mopar.
Yeah, Mopar.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they got over us, Nissan and Infiniti guys. Yeah. They actually show out.
Yeah,
like they'll come out together and they'll all meet up and they'll all have a word of mouth of what's popping. So. That's what I'm really excited to, is to get into the Mopar industry. So I got a bunch of new stuff coming out that I haven't seen anyone with. And if I have seen, I've seen stuff for like $700, $800 and I'm going to have for like $300. So that's what I'm going to get into. I do have access to the higher brands like Lamborghini and Mercedes. It's just I don't have the time to properly enter that market. You can't just get in there and be like, hey, I sell Infiniti stuff,
Yeah.
High rollers like that sell, they have Lamborghinis and Mercedes and stuff like that. They don't want to hear that. They want a proper game plan of what you're going to do.
Yeah, a lot of those guys too. I mean, obviously if you got a Lambo, you got the money to just do one-off things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. No, that's cool. How do you separate your business and your life? Because I mean, you're busy 24 hours out of the day.
Yeah. It's more like 25 hours.
Yeah, right.
I don't. It's basically in my mind all day. Luckily for Instagram, you can just pop it open, reply real quick, and whatnot. I really don't. It's at least every hour something regarding Jalisco's carbon fiber is going on in my life. Even when I was on vacation, this was the one time that I was able to reflect and really go away from social media and electronics and stuff and just enjoy my actual time with my wife and free time. But even then at night when we were sleeping... Did
you turn the phone off?
No. Oh, even at night when we were sleeping, my wife fell asleep. Like, let me pop over and hey, I'm on vacation or something like that. So I don't. But then again, it's good and bad. But the community was so good towards me, and they're so understanding of my medical job and what it got going on. It's just me by myself. That if I reply to them and I tell them, hey, I'm late on your order 2 weeks, that they're okay with it.
Yeah. Now, do you tell? It looks like you tell people, that you're in the medical industry, right? Were you ever hesitant of telling them, hey, I do got another job, I'm not, I can't prioritize, you guys. I don't want to say that you're not prioritizing your customers, right? But, you do have other commitments. Were you ever hesitant of letting people know that?
Kind of. I mean, I needed to let them know because they're wondering why at 3 p.m. I'm not replying for 2 days in a row, Yeah. So I needed to let them know. It works out because some people really respect that. I've had people tip me like $100 just because they know what I'm going through. And even though I don't need it, they know I made that sale. So it works out because some people are very happy about that, understanding. And then on the other hand, there's other people that there in no way has anyone ever really been disrespectful to me, but they kind of don't care. I paid for this item. I spent $600 with you. You told me it was going to be ready by this day. It's not ready. They're like, I get you got this going on, but, they expect their product. And the bad thing about me, too, is I post almost every day. So when people see me post, like, at 8 in the morning, I already had that post ready since yesterday. But they think I'm on Instagram selling and stuff, and I'm not trying to reply to them. So it's good and bad with that.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's like, I don't know if you've seen those memes where it's like, when you're posting shit, but you have, people still, in your inbox and you're, it's exactly that, right? How do you deal with an unhappy customer?
Man. So I'm an adult and I'm mature, but unfortunately I come from a rough area myself. So I'll be real with people sometimes, and I'm not trying to be ghetto with anyone, and I'll take it back. I'll even send a message back and I'll apologize. Yeah. So I have real people, and I'll tell them, hey man, I'm not a customer service person. You're talking to, man to man. We're speaking to each other. So I'm respectful for you. Don't be disrespectful towards me. So I've had moments like that where I did reply short, or I did reply the same way they replied to me. Either they move on to a different brand, they're gonna buy from someone else, or I say, hey, that's my bad. I'm under this amount of stress. I apologize for that. Here's $50 off your order. Here's just $50 for me messing up, or here's a discount on a future order, or I'll refund you. I always try to reflect on if if I was replying to this brand and this is how this brand replied to me,
yeah,
I probably would have replied back.
Nah, you're new to it, so it's like, sometimes people are stressed, and it's like you're in the heat of the moment, and then after you cool off,
yeah,
you kind of sit back and like shit, let me reach back out. But I mean, it's good that you show transparency, right?
Yeah.
Kind of what you're going through, and just trying to get this thing rolling, right? Do you incorporate any type of like fitness into your routine that kind of clears your head? Yoga, meditation?
So yeah, before I actually talk about it on my page every now and then. The reason why I started the business was I had a lot of mental issues when I was finally out on my own. I had a lot of I was going through like depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts at one point, just because when you're out on your own, it's hard.
Yeah.
So from that, I got into boxing. Boxing was always in the back of my life since I was 14, but I got back into it. And I was able to do that the whole time I was doing carbon. But at some point, and it's bad of me because I know fitness is so important, but I stopped, man. And I was eating bad, man. I was drinking coffee every day, eating bad stuff every day. So it's just now I started taking my health serious and fitness again. And I started working out, going back into versions of boxing. And so I try to fit it in, but with my day, man, I'm so tired.
Yeah. No, for sure. You got any like mentors or books that you've read that kind of changed you for the better or even for the worse?
Not directly, but speaking to people like you that are making changes in small businesses, stuff like that, and just meeting other people that buy my products that they also have their small business. Or when I go get something wrapped, I met this guy who also does wrapping, and he did a small business, and he actually wrapped like my door handles or something back in the day. And then I came back to get something else wrapped, and now he's doing it full time. He actually hired on his girlfriend. So it's meeting people like that and learning from them, and like what you told me about the guy you said that wasn't scared to do the iPhone full time.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I learned from, but yeah, every now and then on YouTube, I'll look up people who started their own business or things like that.
Are you into podcasts at all or no?
Some of it. I don't have time. I don't have time. Some of it, but just like random stuff. I like UFC a lot, so I watch Joe Rogan's podcast and things like that.
Obviously, Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, he's kind of out there sometimes, but I'll look at his like fighter podcast. I'm trying to think of other podcasts I watch.
No, for sure. I'll give you a list of recommendations. It's just self-improvement, man. Just self-improvement. Listening to podcasts are the reason why I started a podcast, right? I mean, I never would have met you personally, right? We would have exchanged messages and stuff like, hey, where the hell is my steering wheel, right? Definitely. But like, to put a face and actually meet someone that's hustling out there too. I mean, it's a different ball game, when you meet people like that. And honestly, that's why I started it, right? The real business owners, like I said, Cale Goodman, and man, I keep forgetting your name. I'm sorry, but obviously, Think Media is the main reason why I started this. They kind of helped me with all the cameras and audio and everything. Sean Cannell over there, the whole team over there. It's just they hold like their podcasts are from their I forgot what it's called, but it's where they hold like a meeting and a bunch of people go and
like
they
those
talk
networking events.
Yeah, exactly, a networking event. And I mean it's free information, right? And I'll listen to it because I work out in Bridgeview, right? So it's like a 30-minute drive for me. And I'll listen to, I wake up at 4 a.m, hit the gym. Then I'm on my way to work for 30 minutes. I'm listening to a podcast where it's just like, oh shit, I didn't know this about, social media advertisement or why you should start a YouTube if you have a plumbing business, right? They go through, Think Media goes through one of their clients or customers that kind of went through their training as well. And one of the guys was a plumber. And he built his plumbing company off YouTube.
Really?
So it's like, you kind of think about it, and it's like a plumber off YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And he built it so big to where, now he's just full-time YouTube.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty crazy from what the internet could do, right? Obviously, you've said that people have threatened you, right? Because you messed up the industry, right? How do you separate yourself from the competitors? Are you just that much more better than them? I mean, or is it just pricing?
What got me in the door was definitely pricing, because I was sometimes slashing the price by 50%. Obviously, over time, my price does have to go up because it's just me. I need to value my time compared to whatever else I do. But man, the community just wanted someone real, or they wanted to know who's selling this, because the big 4 brands in Infiniti that are selling similar products to what I'm selling, they were just taxing people like crazy, and stuff would go out, either would get damaged, lost and stuff, or you wouldn't get a response from them. So as soon as they made their profit, they were out the door, and no quality assurance or anything like that. So what differentiated me from them is that I'm me. People know who they're buying it from. People know that I started with low, fair prices to get everyone, what they wanted, and I'm still continuing even to this day, like a year and a half later. So that's the big difference.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, for those of you that don't know, my dad has a landscape business, right? And we started the same way, right? You start with low pricing, and for the customers that initially capitalize on it, we try to keep that pricing as consistent as we can, but obviously with inflation and gas prices, and we buy new equipment and bigger and better equipment, we can't go out still giving the same pricing, right? Yeah. So I mean, sometimes you just gotta raise your prices, and it kind of weeds out the people that give you a harder time, right? Usually the cheaper people sometimes give you more issues. They're more picky,
Yeah.
Where do you see your business in 5 years?
Definitely doing the same splash we had in Infiniti into other brands. That's what I definitely am striving for. God willing, if everything goes well, hopefully this year I can make a decision with myself of leaving physical therapy and doing this full time. But just continuing the same impact that we're making in Infiniti and just in other brands. That's what I'm really hoping for.
What's one thing you wish you would have known before you started?
Man. How much you'll get addicted to it? Yeah. You really, man, when you see you'll sell out at something that you'll post that you thought you weren't going to sell, and it sells out like 24 hours, you get addicted to that, addicted to seeing the community tagging your stuff and then just providing more and more products. You really do, man.
Yeah. Is it like when people repost your stuff, is it like, damn, I actually like what I'm doing. I'm glad I did it. Do you share that stuff? Like, do you go on your Instagram and kind of do shout outs to everybody? Like, hey, thanks guys for supporting me and stuff like that. So
yeah, I always try, because I learned that from seeing other similar competitors that they would just post people's pictures or products or high quality pictures that they took, and they won't give any shout out, any credit to them. So I definitely try to always give credit in every post if someone takes like a really, really good picture of a product I sold, if they share on the story. And that's what I didn't know about Instagram, is how big of an impact story posts can do.
Yeah.
People will post some stuff on my story and I'll reshare it and say it's a really expensive product like carbon steering wheel or something like that, and they'll see a story post and then they'll buy it from the story post. Like no other information they want, they just want that product that they saw. So story sharing and still having that relationship with the customer, that even though they purchased it, they're still tagging me like a year later on the same product.
No, that's awesome. I for sure do that especially with Soho Motorsports.
Oh yeah.
Like, since I did all the work to my car.
Yeah.
Every car post I do, you gotta shout out to them. You know what I'm saying?
I got to a point now that people who have never purchased my products or anything are tagging me on their stuff regardless, and they have none of my products in their picture. But
really,
I guess because my page has like a pretty decent following, they'll just like tag me on there.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I used to untag myself from it because I'm like, man, that's not my product. Don't try to get clout from my business. But now I don't care. Because even Soho and other big brands like that, if you go to their tag section, everyone's tagged on it. So I'm like, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now, especially there's like apps now that generate tags for you.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think they generate hashtags for you. They're supposed to know the new algorithms and all that stuff for you to get more followings and stuff.
Wow.
But I mean, and I'm not sure if all the Instagram stuff algorithms, if they change daily or monthly or what they do, right? But they generate it for you. So basically, I think they just do, like, you could do a search word where it's like, I want all tags related to, for me, a 370. And then it'll just generate a bunch of 370 tags. Like, it'll throw in Nismo in there. It'll throw in, GTRs and all this other stuff. And obviously, you could change them and stuff. But, I mean, you might have just gotten so much hashtags that it picks you up, right?
Yeah.
And, no, that's cool. Well, cool, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. I hope you quit your job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And go full time. Don't do it and then come, knocking on my door. Hey, you ruined my life, right? Yeah. But no, let everybody know where they could find you. YouTube, Instagram, whatever you got. Let them know.
Yeah, it's Instagram, Jalisco's _ carbon fiber. It's JALISCOS _ carbon fiber. That's basically where I do all my product drops, selling. My website, I'm working on it to get it up, hopefully within a couple months. It's expensive.
Yeah,
to get a proper website running up. Facebook, I'm not really on there. I'm also on TikTok, Jalisco's _ carbon fiber. So I'll try to post new products on there every now and then. But Instagram. Up on Instagram.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks for stopping by. I'll have his info down in the section below. Comment, subscribe. If you guys need to reach out to him, for sure do it. You're shipping all 48 states?
Worldwide, everywhere.
Oh, worldwide. Okay.
Yeah. Usually, the 48 states, I always have shipping already included at the price, but Hawaii, Alaska is a little bit more expensive. Worldwide, it's a lot more expensive, but everywhere.
Have you shipped to Jalisco?
No, not done to Mexico yet. But I've shipped to Australia and then once to Tokyo. So,
awesome.
I'll get a lot of Canada customers though.
Yeah. No, that's cool. All right, man. Thanks for stopping
by. Appreciate it. Thank you.